The creation of the Canadian Water Polo Hall of Fame is the result of a long-term effort by David Hart and a group of celebrated Canadian water polo personalities in collaboration with Water Polo Canada. The purpose of the Canadian Water Polo Hall of Fame is to recognize former and current athletes, coaches, referees, professional staff, and volunteers for their significant contributions to both water polo in Canada and their community at large. Cora Campbell, athlete. A two-time Olympian at the 2000 Sydney and 2004 Athens Games, and an assistant coach at the 2020 Olympics, Cora was recognized as one of the most outstanding players in the world in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Cora's international career spanned from 1992 to 2007, with 6 World Championship appearances and a gold medal at the Winnipeg Pan American Games in 1999. Cora dominated the Canadian Championships for 2 decades with the Camo and Calgary water polo teams. She also played professionally in Italy, helping the Catania club to a championship title. Robert Thompson, coach. An Olympic athlete at the 1972 Munich Olympics and a coach at the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics. His Hamilton Aquatic Club senior men's teams competed in 11 consecutive Canadian finals from 1971 to 1981, winning 9 of those 11 Golden Cup championships, a record that has not been matched since the Cup was first presented in 1907. As head coach of McMaster University men's team, he also won 17 titles over a 19-year period, another unmatched feat. During the period of 1969 to 1981, Robert set what became the standard of coaching excellence for a generation of Canadian coaches. Roy Gunnell, official. With an officiating career that spans 43 years, from 1963 to 2006, Roy's impact on the Canadian and international scene as an official is one of the most significant in Canadian water polo. Roy officiated at the 1984 Los Angeles and 1992 Barcelona Olympics, while racking up over 150 international matches, with additional appearances at 5 World Championships, 2 FINA Cups, 3 World Junior Championships, 3 Pan American Games, and 6 World Student Games. Roy has served on national and international officiating committees, helping to advance the education and training of generations of young officials. John Stockdale, builder. John's water polo career spans 6 decades from 1973 to the present. His influence on the sport has been enormous at the local, provincial, national, and international levels in a wide variety of capacities: coach, mentor, NCCP speaker and author, technical director, volunteer, and board member. As a coach of BC teams, he has won over 24 Canadian titles at every conceivable level for both men and women. John has served as an assistant coach for both the senior men's and women's national teams, a unique position in Canada. He is one of the few figures in Canadian water polo to have achieved legendary status.
Camo de 1984 à 1994, club. Sous la direction des entraîneurs Daniel Berthelette et Robert Couillard, le club de water polo Camo de Montréal a réalisé l'exploit sans précédent de remporter 32 titres canadiens durant la période s'étalant entre 1984 et 1994, dont 1 médaille d'or chez les hommes seniors, 8 médailles d'or chez les femmes seniors, 4 médailles d'or chez les hommes juniors, 10 médailles d'or chez les femmes juniors, 3 médailles d'or chez les hommes jeunesse et 6 médailles d'or chez les femmes jeunesse. L'impact de Camo sur les programmes des équipes nationales a été fondamental, contribuant à propulser des athlètes et des entraîneurs aux Jeux olympiques de Los Angeles de 1984, aux championnats mondiaux aquatiques de 1986, 1991 et 1994, aux Jeux panaméricains de 1987 et 1991 et aux championnats mondiaux juniors de 1987, 1989, 1991 et 1993.
2003 Canadian Junior Women's Team. In 2003, the Canadian Junior Women's Team made history by winning the World Junior Championships with a shootout victory over the United States in Calgary. Under the direction of head coach Pat Odin and assistant coaches Danielle Berthollet and Ahmed El Awadi, the 13-player team captured the only World Championship title ever won by a Canadian team. This outstanding group of players included Rachel Riddell, Cecily Morgan-Jonker from Vancouver, Kristen Zernick and Janice Party of Calgary, Brooke Zimmerman from Regina, Sarah Thériault, Edmonton, Marina Radu, Dominique Perrault, Christina Alogbo, Rosanna Tomyuk, Katie Little, Cora Campbell, and Christine Robinson, all of Montreal. Many of them would go on to excel at the senior international level. Frank Medic, historical figure. Frank arrived in Canada in 1948 as a refugee from the former Czechoslovakia. His impact on water polo during the crucial transition period of the late 1950s and 1960s was among the most significant of any figure in the sport. Frank, a true visionary, was one of the key builders of the Canadian champion water polo teams. At the Snowden YMHA, the East End Boys Club, and Concordia University in Montreal. He made key business contacts that helped generate funds for international events, sending teams to Europe and hosting foreign teams. Frank became the first president of the modern era Canadian Water Polo Association and led the selection committee for the first ever men's national team to compete at the 1963 Pan American Games. Frank's visionary approach helped propel Canadian water polo into its current era. Dr. Jack Gauldi, Distinguished Alumni. Dr. Gauldi represented Canada at the 1972 Munich Olympics and the 1967 Pan American Games in Winnipeg. He won several Canadian titles with the Hamilton Aquatic Club and served on the board of directors at the local, provincial, and national levels for many years. His achievements as an immunologist in his post-water polo career propelled him to the highest international level. He was awarded the Order of Canada in 2018. As an immunologist and expert in the field of gene therapy, his studies have had an international impact and have led to several clinical treatments, including cancer vaccines. He is the recipient of numerous prestigious awards for his work in the Department of Pathology and Molecular Medicine at McMaster University.